In this tutorial, what I want to do is cover a few more of the things on the project drawing catalog, but I'm also going to talk about using the application on the iPad and iPhone. One of the things I was going to show initially is that anything that has an underline in the heading, in this case the drawing type, if you tapped on that, it's going to bring you to this list. And what this list does is it allows you to add different kind of drawing information about size, sketch, and so forth. Red, blue lines, or whatever they may be. You can change that title. What you do is you click New, type in here the information for that next item you want to add in here. Now you don't repeat anything. And then if you wanted to edit one of them, you can go up here and click this and then edit it up here. If you edit it and complete it and then go back, that will be now added to the list. Now keep in mind, when you're adding this information, do not replace something you're already using, because now it's going to orphan that particular thing so it won't be able to be used anymore on a drawing or on the screen. So what you want to do is go ahead and just add whatever's next in here. And this is sorted alphabetically, so you can add them and then they'll pop in between wherever they belong depending on their alpha character. Let's go back to the catalog. In the catalog, the next thing you're going to have to think about when you're using the application is that you're using gestures to work with this application to move it around on the iPhone and iPad. On an iPhone, you may have truncated screen where you don't see everything here at the bottom, and you may want to see it. So the way you do that is where you have the text in this area here, and any area at the top of the screen that's not an actual field, you can put your fingers on it and move it up or move it down. Now, the way you do that is if you're in a portal, you do not want to be in there when you want to move the entire screen up and down. I'm going to simulate moving it. I'm going to just go ahead and move the screen up. And you can see what I'm talking about. It hangs up there. If you put your fingers here and pull it back down and let it go, then it would be in there. Now you can do the things like expanding two fingers to zoom in and then pull it back by zoom out, or you can use 3 fingers and tap on the screen to magnify it. Now I can do this by doing this. You can see you can magnify it so you can see closer up, and then you can navigate by moving it around on the screen. So it makes it simpler to use. So for example, if we're over here, we're looking at the images, the last time we try to use them, they're much clearer if you want to zoom in and see that stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and go back out. Well, I'll click on it again and it zooms back out. So this is how you navigate through the different screens in the application. Now let's pull her down to have it square again. And now you can see that that's the way you have to use it. And the other navigation I want to point out is this. You see there's a portal record in here, but there's no data. If you don't have any data in a portal, you cannot click on the portal button and have it go to a portal item. It has to have some information in the line. It doesn't have to be complete, but it has to have that information. One of the things we're going to do right now is we're going to click in one of the portal records just to see what it looks like. And you can see it carries over information that you created on the main screen or the parent, and this is called a child record because it's tied back to that parent record. Top level drawing number, assembly drawing number, drawing name, drawing type in the assembly level, next lower assembly part number, and its information. Now this is all carried over from the drawing information you added in the prior screen. If you want to see the sub-assembly report, now this is going to be something we're going to cover separately, you can go ahead and click on this button. If for some reason you have records that you do not want to keep for whatever reason because they're void or not correct or something like that, you can use this delete button to delete the portal record. Do not delete the parent record when you have child records still out there. If you delete the parent record, which is the main drawing record, all of these records will be abandoned, or what we call child record orphans. That can really mess up your database to have child records out there that are not tied back to a parent record. So always delete the child record first before you delete another record. I'm going to click on this just to show you that you can bring up the text field here. Now what happens if you do a button up here where it comes up, you can say select all, and you have a lot of choices of things you can do. Copy, cut, paste, delete, define. Define is defining a particular word when you can use these bars to scale in on one word. It'll actually bring up a dictionary and tell you what that is. You can share this text to something. You can paste the text only if you want to, and then you can change the style, which will give you underline, bold, and italic. on something you're putting in a field. So you can edit how it looks. Now there's another thing you can do, which is quite interesting. If you click out of it and then go ahead and say select all, what'll happen on the iPhone where it's set up to do it, there'll be a thing here that'll say speak, and whatever text is in there that you have highlighted will be spoken by your default voice within your iPad or iPhone. Another thing that you can do here, which is kind of interesting, is you can take that text that you have in here and you can copy it and paste it somewhere else in the application, or when you share it, you can share that whatever's highlighted in here out to different kinds of things that you want to take it to, maybe another application or whatever. The last thing I wanted to point out is if you have this highlighted up here, typically on the more newer iPads and iPhones, there is a thing where you can actually speak the text into this area. So if I'm in here and I click and I say speak, or down here if there's a mic icon on this particular application, because I'm doing this in Xcode, it does not have the mic on it. But if you have it on your iPad or iPhone, if you tap on that mic, you can start speaking the text in here and narrate all this information into your record. That's a nice thing to know about that you can do. It can save you a lot of time on adding data. Of course, you'd have to go back and edit it by tapping in and putting your cursor in any other place where you want to change the text. Like here, it has 3 periods after this. You would tap into there and then take out 2 of them if you needed to. Okay, so now we're looking at the portals and how they work with a portal. You can also title the actual portal in this place right here and add the title to it for the picture title. You can edit these, but do not edit them in the screen. They only can be edited or should be edited in the main screen when you actually add the item. Okay, let's go ahead and go to the portal of the portal. Now you have a picture that's a larger picture. Now take for advantage of this when you're on the iPhone or iPad and you're in the field and you say have a drawing or wiring schematic or some kind of a thing like an elevation drawing as a contractor, and you have an image here or images that you can go through. Now what I would do in this area, especially if I were in the catalog and I wanted to look for a particular item, I'd be in the last screen that we were just in, and I would go ahead and do a find. Come up here and I'd say start a find. And what it does is it flips the record, and if there's a text field in here, I can type in the text field what I'm looking for. And say, for example, I want to look at the engine bay, and I know that's out there in those records. I could go ahead and type in engine. You don't even have to put the bay on there. As long as it's engine, it's going to collect all the records that have the word engine. Or you can put engine B, and then it would get only engine B items like engine bay and so forth. And then you would go ahead and say perform the find. And now I want to point out what this does. When you have a criteria that's not valid for the proceeding, you can either modify it to correct it, because in this case I have nothing in there, or you can cancel it. If you modify it, then it's going to go look for the item you modify. If you cancel it, it's going to flip the record back over, and now you're looking at the same image. Of course, you can always go back to the tutorials and maybe find something you want to repeat, or a tutorial that you are going to the next one. The next one is the package portal, which I'm going to go back to here, which is this right here for the package assembly portal. And now you could also scroll this, because if there are additional records in here, and I pointed that out earlier, this is where you get to see them in a larger view in this portal. And of course you can go to the next one for the individual one, and now you're looking at the individual portal. In this case, I just put 2 images of boats in there because they were easy to put in. But this may be, say for example, if this particular portal is for the engine bay, then it'd be appropriate to have an engine bay picture or image. It could be either a live image, or it can be a drawing, or it may be a plumbing situation. For example, like you're looking in this drawing right here, it could be any part of, say, the kitchen or the beds or whatever, as far as like the assembly portions. It's because this is at the product package assembly level. Okay, if you have any questions or you're stuck, you can always contact us through the developer site and chat with us online to ask questions. Thank you.